My own experience of solar and visiting solar farms near Reading is entirely positive, and I wanted to describe a visit I went on with the former Conservative Minister, the former Honourable Member for Hexham, where we visited a large solar farm next to the M4 motorway, which was put on a reclaimed site, which had been landfill, before that gravel pits, and had been readopted as grassland with ground-mounted solar. And the benefits of this clearly for the economy are enormous. The landscape imposition of this site was minimal. It was next to a motorway on reclaimed land. And I would like to see more talk about how land which has been reclaimed or has low landscape value being used. And I do understand in much of the country there are large areas which fall into this category. Certainly in my own county of Berkshire, we have the M4 motorway running through our county, and we have other areas of lower landscape value as well as some of very high landscape value. And I obviously would like to see a sensible approach protecting very valuable landscapes. But my visit was entirely positive. The site was financed by pension contributions. It was providing a long-term source of energy, a long-term source of income to people who are pension savers, which is also very important, and general benefits to the economy. So it was a huge win-win for everybody. And while I was there, the former Honourable Member for Hexham pointed out to me, and he had a very strong rural background, the ability of these sites to be built so that livestock can actually graze under the solar panels in the UK. And his own experience in the northeast of England was exactly that. So I would like to commend that point to the House. And indeed, to add a few other related points, I think it's also worth remembering that many farmers, and the Honourable Gentleman who spoke recently pointed out the pressure on farming incomes, many farmers are seeking to diversify. There's a really strong tradition of farmers using disused barns and workshops to rent out for small enterprises. And I do think there is a place for farm diversity, and it's important to think about that aspect of farming. And we should be commending farmers for their entrepreneurship and their ability to be adaptable, and supporting them as we do in many other ways. But it is also important to remember that there are large farm buildings in our landscapes which have had relatively light treatments in planning terms. Many large, and particularly in my own area, and I think of the Honourable Member for, I apologise, I can't quite remember your consideration. Mid-Buckinghamshire, fantastic, Mid-Buckinghamshire is obviously a Thames Valley MP. There are some very large farm buildings within our part of the southeast which already, if you were to look at it from a point of view of landscape and the visual impact, have a very large visual impact. Some of these ground-mounted solar arrays are low. They can be screened if they're looked at a lower level, at ground level. And certainly the site I visited had trees on one side, obviously not shading it, so that if you were a passerby on a footpath, you wouldn't necessarily know it was there. So I do think we need to bear in mind the balance, the importance of balancing different issues while we look at this, and indeed of working together in a cross-party way and supporting the move to a renewable economy, a sustainable future and a sustainable economy.